just want a brief intro. Thank you everybody for coming on out to this little special event. Thank you, yes. My name is Adam Scow. I'll be playing violin, drinking some white wine, sharing some words that hopefully aren't too boring. I want to thank Irene Herrmann, who's our host this evening, also on cello. I want to thank Kaethe Hostetter, who's going to be playing viola.
Yay!
Great multi-genre musician. I also want to thank Shannon D'Antonio for playing violin as well. Also a teacher at Westlake. So here we go. So we've been playing quartets, the four of us and some other cats around town have been playing quartets at Irene's house. We've been in her living room. We've been in her front yard. We've been in her backyard. And we've been on the driveway. And so we've really explored the property. And so we thought we've been trying to get together. Everybody's so busy. It's been kind of a crazy spring. And so we got to play quartets. And it just so happens my good friend, Amy Chen Mills is running for county supervisor here. So we're very excited. So, I'm honored to be on her team. Linda Marin is here, a mutual friend of Irene, and Amy's also on the team. Amy is your neighbor here on the west side. We're going to hear from her in just a little bit, but we're going to start with some music. And so this is a little medley. We're going to start with some Haydn. Some of these things we played together, some of these things we have not. We're playing Haydn. Haydn was the godfather of the string quartet. He wrote over 75 string quartets, really created the medium that led to the greatness that was Mozart and Beethoven and so many composers who themselves thought that the string quartet was one of the greatest ensembles to write for, because you have four voices interacting in a very interesting way. And really these Haydn quartets laid the foundation. So we're going to play something from the Opus 20 quartets. Back in the day, before, the quartet was more like a first violin concerto with accompaniment. And now we have some more interaction in this Opus 20. So
the variation.
That was Opus 20 Haydn. So I think a lot of us we've played in symphony orchestras before, and I think Shannon's playing with the Santa Cruz Symphony this week, and sometimes I play with the Santa Cruz Symphony. That's a great, fun experience, and they have a phenomenal conductor right now. Danny Stewart's a friend of ours, and but one of the exciting things about playing string quartets is that it's really a much more democratic form of playing music, where you have four voices interacting in rehearsal, talking about how to interpret the music, what speed, what kind of dynamics, style, and every quartet will sound different. It's a really, and every time we play, sometimes it might be a little different. It's very fresh and very, very empowering for the musicians to play what they want to play and how they want to play it. Not always true in a symphony orchestra where it's a little bit more of a dictator and the workers got to just kind of blend, and it's a little bit true. Less expressive. And I think it's there's some parallels with what was going on with growing impatience around tyranny in the world at the time, and really ideas that were coming out of the French philosophers that have kind of carried through this time, not always realized, but good ideas about democracy are still something we strive for. So maybe that's just a little preamble to what you're about to hear. So we're going to play one little minuet, and then we're going to bring up Amy. Not too fast, right, Irene?
Not too bad.
Dictator.
It's still leadership.
Well, I call it on the table.
Candidate for Supervisor, mental health educator, environmentalist, your neighbor, Amy Chen Mills. Amy, come on.
Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming. What a beautiful event and what a charming event. You know, it's hard for me to put my campaign hat on. I just want to listen to the music. I am Amy Chen Mills. I've lived in Santa Cruz for about 30 years. My husband was back there. He disappeared. He's a little shy. Oh, where did he go? There he is. He's over there. That's my husband. We live on Alta Vista, and we have 2 teenagers. I started here at Metro Santa Cruz as a journalist. I don't know if some of you remember Metro Santa Cruz. It came in to challenge the good times. So I think I've always come in as kind of a challenger. That's kind of how I am. And then after about six years in journalism, I'm winning awards for investigative journalism and environmental journalism. I went on to become a mental health educator for Santa Clara County, and I worked in all these different departments in Santa Clara. But I think most importantly for this position of supervisor, I was working with clients in all different settings, so jails, juvenile hall, work furlough programs, youth correctional facilities, the main jail, and also working with county employees in rotating trainings to help people kind of get their lives together, so that's something that I have a real deep understanding about, is what people need to get their lives together. And after that work, I went on to found a nonprofit. I directed a national nonprofit for about 10 years, did the fundraising and project management and outcome tracking and outcome reporting and managing staff and all that kind of thing. And we worked in the Mississippi Delta, we worked in North Carolina in at-risk communities, we worked with police officers, we worked with residents, we worked with migrant communities and restorative justice programs. So I have a real breadth of experience in the nonprofit world and working with city and county agencies. That's been almost my whole life, actually. In 2016, I became an activist. You can probably guess why. And I was an activist when I was in college. I became an activist again, and so I helped organize marches and a tax day rally in Palo Alto with Anna Eshoo, my friend Hal Plotkin, who was in the Obama administration. And then finally I settled. It was so crazy for those 4 years, and it's not over yet, but I settled on climate as an issue to tackle, and because I thought it's the most important issue. And and I became an activist. Pauline knows I was an activist with Pauline. We did some workshops together for SCAN and helped to found Extinction Rebellion here. Went with Linda to Washington, D.C. to lobby all kinds of folks. And I think that really what distinguishes me from my opponents is this capacity to understand and to articulate the reality of the climate crisis. What I hear, thank you, and what I hear from my opponents, but I hear from everywhere, when the topic of climate comes up, there's this phrase that they say, how do you feel about climate? Oh, it's an existential crisis, is what they say. And to me, that just it doesn't mean anything anymore. I am so deeply concerned about our fire situation, our water situation, even our food security situation. These are things I really want to focus on. And I also want to focus on helping our young people feel like we are doing the best we can as a county in terms of every aspect of how we can mitigate for climate and be activists for climate. Pass a resolution that CalPERS divest from fossil fuels. Watsonville has already done that. Bring in indigenous leadership and have them come and talk and be a part of the county in terms of what we're doing with land stewardship, which the Amamoosan tribe is already doing, and actually I know them pretty well, as many of us do, and the good work that they're doing. So climate is sort of my central platform. Regenerative agriculture, working with Adam, who's a lead on the Committee for Organic and Regenerative Agriculture down in Watsonville, drawing carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere into our soils, which we can do with regenerative agriculture. I just really want to be doing, like I said, the very best that we can. My husband said to me the other day, he said, I'm hoping you win. Because it's just the feeling of, someone's got a handle on this. It's not like I could actually have a handle on this whole huge global crisis, but I can try to have a handle on what we can do and be working with activists and advocates and permaculture folks and all kinds of folks to make sure that we are resilient. So I just want to stop for a minute, and I can chat with you after the violin music, and you can ask me questions and talk to me, but I just want to say that we entered this race late. We entered this race in, I think, February. The other two candidates entered in the fall. We have made impressive inroads in a very short period of time. You see yard signs everywhere. That's because of my team. It's because we are grassroots. People care about these issues. We're not looking for money. We're not funded by PACs, unlimited funding PACs. We're not funded by real estate PACs. We're not funded by developers. We're funded by people and human beings. And so I think we've got this energy around that is inspiring to me when I'm with my team, and it just touches me how much people believe in what we're doing. So I want to thank you all for coming. I'll try to keep it short. I was told to, because the music's the most important thing tonight. And come talk to me. Oh, if you want to support us, you can make a donation in that jar, you can just go to our website, amychenmills.com. There's a donation button there. If you want a yard sign, email us. The best thing to do is to tell your friends, email the website to all your friends, because people are voting right now. So, and we really feel like we've brought the issues to the forefront at almost every forum, talking about these things so that everybody's hearing what the concerns are of people and youth. I've worked with youth quite a bit, so I'm happy about that. And Alex over here is on our team from UCSC. He's our stellar walker, and I think he's walking because of climate. Yeah. Or is there anything you want to say about why you're walking?
I mean, because you're the right person for the job. So.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy the music.
Mozart. Anybody seen the movie Amadeus?
Yeah.
So Mozart truly did have a sense of humor, as many musicians like to think we do. And this is about a fox hunt. It was inspired in Austria, where people really had to hunt sometimes to eat food. Can you imagine that? There wasn't Costco back then. I understand dogs were also important part of fox hunting.
Yeah. You could feel it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hounds. Hounds. What about boxers? No?
No. Not that I was ever part of that. My class background is way too low. But I know.
So Mozart, back in the day, any of you who ever work in the arts or in non-profits know you often have to get funders to do your work. And back in the day, Mozart had to solicit the employment of princesses and kings. You know, they bring you into the palace and you write stuff in their honor. And Mozart sometimes didn't get along with his employers. And as history would have it, Mozart would actually self-produce concerts. He died poor. Does anybody know why and how Mozart died?
He died of kidney disease, didn't he?
Kidney disease. There are many theories. He was 35 years old, a prolific composer. He wrote all this stuff by hand. He wrote, 1,000 pieces, how many?
Oh,
At least?
yeah, well.
At least. And so he would self-produce concerts. I don't know if he ever did a show in a driveway, but he did a show in restaurants and banquet rooms, and he didn't get rich, but he survived. And,
How did he die?
well, some people think he choked on a pork chop. Some kind of mysterious flu. There's a lot of theories.
A lot of composers died of syphilis.
Syphilis?
Schubert did.
That was Beethoven.
And so did.
Yeah. Schumann had syphilis. Has anybody here ever had syphilis?
Not bad.
I'm a gynecologist. Does that help?
We have a gynecologist here. If anybody's looking for.
Have you
If
run
anyone has
into
syphilis.
number 6. And number 6.
We're gonna play one more movement for you. This is from Mozart's Dissonant String Quartet. This is the last one. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or anything to say? Vote for
What's your
Amy.
question?
I have a question.
For
I
us
just-
or Amy?
For you guys.
Oh, sure.
How do you guys keep time? I don't see you tapping
How do we
your
keep
feet.
time?
You're not tapping your feet or rocking or.
You guys want to answer?
We're feeling the pulses we play, and people
Nice.
are playing the inner pulses. So there's this general underlying pulse that we.
I think we're like passing a basketball of a beat that's always going around, and it's kind of like some people have it strong, but at any point, but it's constantly being passed.
And he's giving us the tempo when he breathes before we start.
Yeah.
That breath, and that's how we know what will be the whole time. But
Also, the bass line, like, a jazz combo, you got the drum.
Yeah.
The bass line is often in the cello, and Irene plays it like a whip. She's always keeping us on our toes. She pushes the beat. So it's like, if you ever hear a band with like a slow ass drummer, or you just want to fall asleep. You can't dance. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Even if you're not swinging, it's got to be on tempo. Yeah.
I'll take it.
So, yeah.
And some of us out here are keeping the beat too.
Thank you to Kaethe, Hostetter on viola. Shannon Antonio on violin. Irene Herrmann, our host. And great piano teacher. My name's Adam Scow. We're here to support Amy Chen Mills for Supervisor.